Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, we had an interesting conversation yesterday on our live stream, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you guys should make sure you come and check us out. Live panels, call-in show, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we were fortunate enough to have Matt from Brunch Boxing join us. Matt is someone who I respect in the game, and he puts out amazing content and information on his Twitter account. So make sure you guys go check out Matt Brunch Boxing on Twitter. And he brought us something very interesting that we discussed as a group, and I wanted to bring it to the masses as a part of this video. Now, it has been thought that Terence Crawford would fight Canelo Alvarez in September. But we know recently that Turki Alalshikh'S did a poll. And Jay, I want you to read to the people so that they understand what Turki Alalshikh'S posted in regards to his poll and the reason why we are now going to ask the question whether or not we are sure Crawford is getting Canelo in September. What did he put in his poll?
Yeah, so he posted this on February 15th at 11:16 a.m. Posted Canelo versus blank. Who should the Lion fight next? Vote below and reply with your dream matchup.
How many people voted on this?
So this right now as of now, it has 5,912 votes. And the names on this for this fight was Terence Crawford, David Benavidez, Dimitri Bivol, Hamza Shiraz were the four options.
And who had the most votes?
David Benavidez by a landslide.
Wow. So
50% for David.
So this is what I don't quite understand, right? And it makes me question whether or not Bud is actually going to get the fight in September. I don't know. I've always been under the impression that he was. But there's a few things here, right? So we know that Canelo Alvarez is fighting William Skull in May. That's already official. You can find it on the box rec. And that has been official for quite some time now. So with that being the case, what do you mean, who should he fight next? Next would be his fight in September, which in theory should be Bud. So why are you doing a poll? The poll makes no sense at that point, right? Because we know who it is. So the poll should be, who would you like to see him fight after Terence Crawford? That's technically what the poll should be, because theoretically the next two fights should be Skull and then Crawford. But it was, who is he fighting next? Not only that,
out of the options.
Exactly. Why are you even putting Bud in as an option? For what? So with that being the case, and we know that Benavidez was actually the one that won this poll by a landslide, and we know that Benavidez is supposed to be there this weekend to watch the Bivol versus. So my question is to just the masses, right? Why would you ask this question if it's a foregone conclusion that Terence Crawford is the next opponent? But not only that, I've been told on multiple occasions that Turki Alalshikh'S is only interested in making the best fights possible. So if he's doing a poll, he's trying to understand what is the best fight possible. And we've heard so many fans say that the biggest fight out there, the best fight, the fight that everybody wants to see is Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. But in reality, and we've told you guys this on multiple occasions, the stats don't actually support that. When you look at analytics and things like that, it don't really support that. It actually supports David Benavidez. So with that being the case, if he really wants to make the biggest fights, Jay, and he's putting out this poll, I'm just using the fans' logic. Maybe Terence Crawford isn't a foregone conclusion, and maybe he's going to start working towards a David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez fight. I'm just throwing it out there because it was an interesting conversation yesterday. Jay, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm really taken back by this question, by the fact that he's adding Bud to this list. If it's already signed, sealed, and delivered for, we know William Skull is for May 3rd, and Bud was supposedly September 12th, why include Bud in this question? Makes no sense to me unless September is up in the air for Canelo now, and it's not really Bud just yet. To your point, David Benavidez is supposedly going to be in Saudi for the Dimitri Bivol rematch. for that. But with this being out here, if Turkey say he listens to the people and giving the people the fight they want to see, he wants to see the best fight the best. By his own question here, and the people answered, 63% want to see David Benavidez, 25% want to see Bud, then it's 8% for Bivol, and 4% for Shiraz. So according to this, and if Turkey's going to listen to the people, like everyone says he does, he's going to pivot and talk to David Benavidez, try to get David for the fight in September. That's what I've been told. Turkey gives us the best fight. He listens. He knows what people want. He asked people what they wanted. The people spoke. We didn't put this up. He did. Why he even put this up, I don't even know. If this year's already set up. If this year's already set up, then move on. Who do you want to see him fight in 2026? Or if you want to say next, don't put Bud on there, because then we'll automatically assume next means in 2026. But when you're throwing Bud in there, it's making us question, like, is this fight really set up to happen in September? Or are you just trying to see what's really going to hit for September, which would be David Benavidez? So he's putting questions out there for himself. He did this. We didn't.
And you know what's so interesting about this, Jay, is that this video will be interpreted as hate. That we're hating on Terence Crawford in some way, shape, or form. We're just asking a simple question. The question doesn't make sense based off Terence Crawford being the opponent for Canelo Alvarez in September. It simply doesn't make any sense to me. So I have to think that there's a possibility that it won't be Terence Crawford. If it was signed, sealed, and delivered, he's already signed off to fight Terence Crawford. There is really nothing to talk about, right? That is pretty much done. What was disclosed was a 4-fight deal. There was never anything disclosed that he was fighting anyway. They said that they would fight Terence Crawford if Turki Alalshikh'S delivered on what they were expecting. Sounded like they were interested in a 4-fight deal. Turkey originally was offering a 3-fight deal, settled on a 4-fight deal to give Canelo the funds that he wants. Apparently, Canelo is now going to fight, but I don't know if that's a guarantee that's going to be Terence Crawford just based off of what he is saying. So it's an interesting dynamic that is occurring. I'm curious to see what ends up happening. I know originally, supposedly, they didn't want him to fight in May. They wanted him to go straight into a Crawford fight in September. But with the 4-fight deal, maybe those plans have changed, particularly if with a 4-fight deal, it's not as appealing. Like, you need to go ahead and make sure that you're making the appropriate money to support the fight. Now, I know everybody's going to say Saudi Arabia don't care about money whatsoever. But again, any entity that I've ever been associated with or seen, government, doesn't matter. They all balance the books. They all balance the books. So you guys let us know what you think in the comment section in regards to this. Does it make sense to you that Canelo Alvarez is being placed in a poll by Turki Alalshikh'S, and the fans are being asked whether or not he should face David Benavidez or Terence Crawford? Well, we know that Terence Crawford supposedly is next. Just a question. Don't call me the hater. I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me, or us in this case. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.